They were looking for a ghost? A queen, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, whose final resting place has tormented treasure hunters and historians for 2,000 years. Dr. Kareem's team was digging just west of Alexandria, beneath the sun-baked ruins of the Taposiris Magna Temple. For weeks, all they had to show for their efforts was broken pottery, crumbling stone, and dust that got into everything. The Egyptian sun was relentless, and so were the budget reports. Funding was running thin. Hope even thinner. Kareem wiped sweat from his brow, his eyes scanning the pit. His team looked tired, their movements slow and heavy. He knew what they were thinking: another dead end. Another wild goose chase inspired by a line from an ancient text. He gathered the crew. 10 more meters, he announced, his voice firm, trying to project a confidence he didn't quite feel. Just 10 more. Then we pack it in and reassess. It was a promise and a prayer. They dug, meter after grueling meter. The air in the shaft grew stale and thick. Then, at 43 feet down, it happened. Not a shout, but a sharp, metallic asterisk clink asterisk that cut through the rhythmic scrape of shovels. A sound that didn't belong. A worker's tool had struck something hard, but not the rough, jagged surface of bedrock. This was smooth, too smooth. A hush fell over the crew. They worked with renewed urgency, their hands now delicate, brushing away centuries of earth. Slowly an edge was revealed, then a line, then a surface. It was carved stone, perfectly cut and fitted. An opening began to appear, dark and imposing, tall enough for a person to stand upright. A tunnel. It plunged straight into the darkness, an unblinking eye staring back at them from the depths of the earth. One of the site engineers, a man named Omar who trusted numbers more than legends, knelt by the entrance. He ran his hand along the edge, his expression a mixture of disbelief and awe. "No ancient tunnel is this straight," he whispered almost to himself. "It's impossible." They brought in the lasers, the surveying equipment. The beam shot into the black, unwavering. The measurements came back, and a stunned silence followed. The tunnel was over 4,000 feet long, perfectly level. A precise geometric line carved through solid sandstone. A geometric miracle, Kareem breathed, his mind racing. How? How could a civilization, without modern drills or laser guides, achieve this level of precision? This wasn't just construction. It was artistry on an impossible scale. The passage ran directly beneath the foundations of the ancient city, a secret spine holding it all together. No wandering curves, no deviations, no mistakes. Whoever built this understood angles, gradients, and physics with a mastery that felt alien. They ventured inside, their headlamps cutting cones of light into the suffocating dark. The air was cool and still, untouched for millennia. It smelled of stone and time itself. It wasn't long before they found the first signs of life, or rather death. Scattered in the dust were coins bearing the faces of Cleopatra's ancestors, the Ptolemaic kings. And then a silver coin with her own unmistakable profile. Alexander the Great, her ancestor, stared up at them from another piece of metal, his image as sharp as the day it was minted. Further in, the tunnel widened into small chambers. Here they found statues, a blend of Egyptian and Greek styles. Gods and goddesses with familiar faces but foreign postures. And then the mummies. They weren't royalty, but they were wrapped with care, their faces covered in Greco-Roman style masks. One discovery sent a shiver through the entire team. A mummy with a tongue made of pure gold foil, placed there so the deceased could speak to Osiris, the god of the underworld, in the afterlife. Leaning against the cool stone wall, Kareem felt a profound shift in his understanding. "This wasn't just an aqueduct or a simple passage," he said to Omar, his voice echoing in the chamber. "This was ritual. This was a sacred path." He envisioned a procession of priests, their torches flickering, walking this very tunnel. He believed it was a symbolic journey, a path connecting the world of the living to the world of the dead, perhaps linking the temple above to a sacred water source, a concept found in the legendary tunnels of Greek oracles. A path for the soul. Just as the team was grappling with the meaning of the tunnel, the sea gave up its own secret. Miles away, off the coast of Alexandria, where the ancient royal quarter now lay submerged, a team of marine archaeologists made a breakthrough. Divers exploring the drowned ruins of Heracleion found the wreckage of a massive ship. It was a royal pleasure barge, over 100 feet long, a floating palace propelled by 20 oarsmen. For centuries, texts describing such opulent vessels had been dismissed by scholars as fanciful exaggeration. Yet here it was. Inside the wreck, preserved in the silt, they found something deeply personal. Scratched into a wooden plank was Greek graffiti, a name, a date. A simple human message from someone who stood on that very deck 2,000 years ago, watching the Alexandrian skyline. It was proof of life, not just legend. It was a voice from the past, speaking directly to them. The discovery started to feel like a cascade. Weeks later, another team working further south, near the banks of the Nile, uncovered a completely unknown valley temple. Carved into its entrance walls was a massive, detailed public festival calendar. A stone schedule for an entire civilization, outlining rituals, holidays, and offerings for every month of the year. It was a Rosetta Stone for the daily life and faith of the Egyptian people. And then came the whisper. The rumor that started in the dusty dig sites and quickly spread to the halls of the Cairo Museum. It was a discovery that shook the very foundations of Egyptology. A newly identified royal tomb. Not just any tomb, but the first pharaoh's burial discovered in the region since Howard Carter stumbled upon Tutankhamun a century ago. But there was a catch. It had been found, but it was flooded. Looted in antiquity, its secrets were washed away and hidden again by time and water. The tomb was located near a strange 75-foot-tall mound of rubble. It wasn't a natural hill. The debris was too uniform, the placement too deliberate. Standing before it, Kareem felt a familiar prickle of intuition. "Something is under that," he said quietly to his team. "That's not a trash heap. It's a marker," the world's media descended. Reporters shoved microphones in Kareem's face, their questions all variations of the same theme. "Dr. Kareem, are we finally solving Egypt's last mysteries? Is this the end of the search for Cleopatra?" Kareem paused, a slow smile spreading across his face. He looked past the cameras, toward the horizon where the sun was setting over the desert, painting the sky in shades of gold and purple. He thought of the tunnel, the pleasure boat, the calendar, the flooded tomb. These weren't separate puzzles. They were connected, a network of secrets stirring all at once. "No," he said, his voice calm and clear. "The mysteries aren't being solved." He let the word hang in the air. "They're waking up," because the deeper they dug, the more Kareem realized they weren't just uncovering artifacts. They were pulling on a thread that connected everything. The straight line of the tunnel pointed somewhere. The drowned ship spoke of a life of luxury that ended abruptly. The flooded tomb hinted at a secret hastily hidden. Egypt didn't feel lost anymore. It felt like it had been waiting for someone to find the right key, to ask the right question, to understand that the past was never truly dead, it was just sleeping. And now it was beginning to stir. The search for one queen had awakened an entire kingdom. Thanks for watching. If you're fascinated by the secrets of the ancient world, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the unknown.